Hello everyone, I welcome you here again. So today we have Mr. Rohan Bhalla with us. So welcome Rohan. Mr. Rohan is yeah. Mr. Rohan recently completed his PhD from Faculty of Management Study, Jamia Millia, Islamia, New Delhi. So Rohan, we want to start with your academic journey first. Please tell us.
Thank you, Puneet, for introducing me to your audience. Uh, so my name is Dr. Rohan Bhalla, and I've completed my PhD from Jamia Millia, Islamia, which is a central university in New Delhi. Uh, Talking about my academic background, I have a very diverse, and it may appear as a very confusing academic background, in fact. So I completed my 10th and 12th from my home city, which is Kuala. Uh, 12th, I have completed with specialization in commerce and psychology. And afterwards, I completed my business administration graduation, specialized in finance. My post graduation was completed from very prestigious Indian Institute of Tourism and Travel Management, which is under Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. And I was specialized in international business. So while I'm putting up my academic qualification, you might be noting that every step I have taken, I've changed my specializations or disciplines. And thereafter, I cleared my UGC NET JRF examination to get enrolled in PhD program of Jamia Millia Islamia.
Okay, so do you want to share what is your aspiration, what is your motivation to go for PhD, and what are your career aspirations?
All right. Uh, I believe academic journey of a student starts from his childhood itself. So a lot of time I notice people are coming from industries and leaving the corporate job and getting enrolled in PhDs or pursuing academic programs. But for me, it was always from my childhood that I wanted to become a teacher.
Okay,
And being a true academician, uh, I believe it is your academic contribution that you make into a particular field which matters most. Second comes your research, which is very much in trend these days. A lot of Indian people are focused on research thing. So I wrote my first research paper in an ISBN published book back in 2009 when I was pursuing my graduation because I
okay,
got wholesome experience from my teachers. They guided me well how to write a paper. And thereon, the interest developed very much. I always wanted to see things with a lot of curiosity. I call myself as a very keen observer, until unless being a good researcher simply means you need to observe things around. If you're not observing things, what is happening in your surrounding, then it will not give you a good clue about things.
okay. Do you want to share something about research publication, journal, paper writing, anything?
Yes. I guess this is one of the most important aspect which universities are uh, preferring while they are selecting any of the candidates who have completed their PhD. Talk about IITs or IIMs or any other prestigious institution, even in international universities. The way you have done your research and where you have published your research, that matters the most. So I call it, the way we manage a finance portfolio, the way we invest in portfolios, it is important to look at research from the same perspective. So a good budding researcher should always have a few book chapters in international publishers. For example, Routledge, you have Emerald Books, Springer, you have. So all these publishers, they provide you good opportunities in terms of edited book, which are being offered by different professors all around the world. So you can start your journey from writing a book chapter that will always give you a good confidence in improving your writing skills. Talking about the other part, which is your articles in journal, research articles in journals, this is one of the topmost priority. This should be one of the most topmost priority for a researcher. I am not sure if they have implemented it or not, but UGC very recently talked about that the minimum eligibility of writing one paper along with your PhD is gone. People only have to focus on their PhDs. But I believe as a researcher, if you are writing your thesis and you are unable to contribute one single article throughout your PhD journey, it doesn't make any sense. So you can always contribute at least 2, 3 papers from your PhD thesis work itself. So that I always keep in mind. I have publications in ABDC and Scopus Index journals. Not much, but yes, they all are relevant and connected to my PhD work. Because you know what happens when you develop your thesis, when you read about your thesis, whatever chapters you are framing, you read a lot of material in a particular discipline. And there are so many techniques to develop a paper. For example, if you are writing your chapter number 2, which is literature review, you can always look into that particular field by using bibliometric analysis, by using systematic literature review, or maybe meta-analysis or big data analysis, whatever technique you wish to apply. But that will give you a wholesome perspective, what is being done into that particular area. So it could be a good publication-based paper, you know. A lot of bibliometric papers are coming up, systematic literature reviews are coming up. So narrative literature review is something what PhD students mostly do. But I always say when you are doing your PhD, you can always apply SLR technique and get it published. In this way, you contribute something meaningful to research as well.
Yes.
So starting from writing book chapters, then research articles, and third most important thing, present your findings, present your work in front of a larger audience through international or national conferences or seminars. The more you involve yourself with other scholars, the better it is for you. It will give you a lot of new perspectives, wisdom. You share your work, you listen to their work, new ideas will develop accordingly. If we are too focused sitting inside our room and reading and writing and reading and writing, that does not make any sense until unless it is not being conveyed or if you have not listened to someone else's work. So international conferences are very much important. Again, I keep it at number 3 because you know presentation will also boost your confidence. At the
Absolutely.
same time, you will listen to a lot of feedback from the experts in the field. So that helps a lot.
So thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge experience with us. So since you have already completed, so do you want to share something about how to select a research topic and
All
how
right.
to prepare a proposal, for that particular topic?
So when I was doing my coursework, I was very much confused which area I should pick. And I guess this happens with everyone, a lot of us. So most of the time, our supervisors and other faculty members, they provide their insight. You can work into a particular area. I believe what we neglect most or what we do not pay heed to, which we should in fact, is the scope of gray literature. When I'm talking about gray literature, I'm asking each and everyone to read more about newspapers and articles and what is happening present in terms of organizational based things. So, for example, the concept of workation came in during the COVID. It got very much popular. So, why organizations are believing in that? Work from home became popular suddenly. So, with every challenge, there are new inventions or innovations or new methods, new techniques which are coming up. So, if you are reading articles, blogs, or any such similar thing, it will give you the right amount of thought to think about, to deepen about, you know, what could be done. So I always say your research starts from your surrounding. If you are aware about what is happening near you, you can simply make things up. So when I was writing my synopsis, I still remember my committee people said, no, you should not go with a particular topic which is related to mental health. So I investigated on mental health and well-being aspects. And it was pre-COVID. Like mental health became very much popular during the COVID time when people were going through a lot of psychological issues. And this is just a God miracle for me that my thesis came into the very right frame and suddenly mental health and well-being took the center stage of examination. And this happened all over the world. And, you know, uh, while selecting a particular topic, I came to know how important it is for Indians, how important it is for India. India for now is the suicide capital of the world, if you are not aware about it. So, this is how I thought my studies, my research work will make a meaningful contribution. So while we are deciding our topic, it should not be like I want to do into finance or HR or marketing, but what you want to do into a particular domain that must be inspired from the problems that you see around you. So I always focus on if you are picking up a good problem that require a research investigation, then it will be a very impactful or meaningful contribution to academia. Selecting a topic just for the say, like this is very trendy or this is popular and I wish to do that, that doesn't make any sense. Even you will lose your interest. So something that inspires you. So for example, I feel connected with sociological issues and psychological issues of people, and I took interest in mental health, well-being, spirituality. And suddenly the scenario also came up in terms of COVID, that people were in need of some non-pharmaceutical interventions. And I investigated that and I written beautiful papers on that. All of them are published with good journals. So this is what I believe. Our selection of a topic depends upon your observation, your ability to find problems in your social group or maybe in your organization, and then get into the deep of that issue. This is what I believe, like how a topic should be selected.
Okay, thank you so much. Do you want to share something about the thesis? How to write a thesis? What are the different styles of writing? And usually, how much,
Okay.
how many chapters or whatever different styles of writing? You want to share something about it?
Yes. So a very standardized format that we follow in India is 5 chapter based thesis: introduction, literature review, methodology, and your findings, discussion, and conclusion. Though it has different subheads inside it as well. And very interestingly, this is also the format of most of the research papers. They have 5 sections in a research paper. So when I started writing my thesis, I followed a chapter wise, like I segregated 5 chapters altogether, like 5 word document file. So your introduction section is something that keeps on continue till the end. You cannot be like, I'll complete chapter 1, then I'll move to chapter 2, then I'll move to chapter 3. I do not think this is how a research thesis should be written. In fact, it should be written in a way like whatever things you're getting, you need to note it down in a particular chapter itself, and then start after 1 or 2 years when you have everything in your hand, like when you have a basic structure in your thesis, start detailing it. So for example, if you are clear about your data collection and analysis method, I would highly recommend it is time for you to complete your chapter number 3 after 2 years or 1.5 years of your thesis
Okay,
journey.
okay,
So that actually helps a lot of people to get into the very clarity of the thesis. It has to have a flow as well. Literature review, again, the more you read, keep noting different aspects and dimension. If we talk about funnel approach in literature review, but or maybe as SLR technique, that helps you to give it a very natural flow. At the same time, it appears very systematic. I mean, narrative literature, who said what, putting up in a paragraph is something which we call our old technique. So the way you write your research paper should be your way of writing a thesis. I always say that. An argument supporting another argument in a very naturally flowing way, good English. And this is how I guess thesis should be arranged. Like, and most importantly, people find it difficult to write discussion and conclusion section, or maybe they do not pay much importance to these sections. Indian scholars are recently being discouraged on a part, like their studies do not have real good implications, or maybe they fail to report the limitations or maybe future scope of study, which is a very significant section of your thesis or even of your paper. So writing good implications, divide it into managerial implication or maybe social implication, theoretical implication, or any other type of scenario that you wish to predict. What could be done in future? So if you have done your qualitative study, you could recommend about testing the theories um, or maybe developing a scale or any similar thing. But that has to be conveyed very clearly. And good emphasis should be given on conclusion page. Because what happens in most of the thesis, a lot of people write literature review 60 pages, 70 pages. And when you see their conclusion section, it will be of 10 pages.
Okay.
So that actually, clarify the mindset of an evaluator, that look at it, how the person wants to just wind up the thesis, and that is how he written conclusion, and did pay much heed, which he or she should have. So this is all about the thesis work and how it should be prioritized.
Okay, thank you so much. So that's a wonderful sharing that you had with all of us. So is there anything else you want to share with all the viewers?
Yes, Puneet. The journey of PhD is not an easy journey, I must say that. And if you are doing it from a good institution, good university, the most important thing that one should keep in mind, that obviously patience is important, but taking care of your health and well-being is much more important. So a lot of time, if we get involved into writing a paper or writing a thesis, we do not follow a disciplined routine. Even I miss that. But I later on I realized that I was losing on my physical health, or maybe because of a lot of stress and pressure or the competition we see around, we get impacted by it. And there is a race of writing number of papers, 10 papers, 20 papers. People also become unethical. You write my name, I write yours, which I believe is not the right way to do a research if you are a good ethical researcher. So what I recommend always is to take care of your health and well-being at number one place, because the more healthier you are, the better your mind will function and you'll be in a stable way. I always recommend doing yoga and meditation. Reason being, it will keep your center very much focused, and it will help you to come up with a lot of things. I mean, this may appear very funny. I'm not here promoting yoga and meditation, but this really helps. Go out for a walk, have a cup of coffee, talk with people around you, talk in your society, wherever you are going. That will also make you a little humble and approachable to people. That will also help you in collecting data and so many things. So these should be in the number one priorities for the people who are doing PhD. Do not get too involved. Take some time out. Keep yourself happy. Go out, watch a movie, and never feel pressurized by your supervisors or by anyone. If you have any problem, or if you want to take a leave, which is all obviously, which is very fine. You do not have to get into a one go. Talk to them, convince them, show them good work. And this is what I believe. If you are doing all such things, your PhD would not be a headache for you. Otherwise, the more you spend time you spend, 5 years, 7 years, 8 years, then it becomes unbearable. So that should not be done.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing
Yeah.
wonderful learning with all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Puneet.